Ego has some of the best battery-powered string trimmers for homeowners thanks to their solid performance and low vibration. The line also has some of the top innovations that we've ever seen, and we are seeing that again in the Line IQ string trimmer. Now, you may already be familiar with the power load feature that Ego has. It's really simple. When the line runs out, it's going to fling the last bit out. Then you take your new line, run it through the head to the halfway point, push this button right here, it automatically winds it, and you keep going. There's no easier line loading than we've ever seen. Now, what Ego's doing on top of that is we now have Line IQ, and that's a system where there's a sensor here that knows how much line is out. When it drops down to about 7 inches or so, it's going to automatically put the next bit of line out. So all you got to do is trim. You don't have to bump the head, you don't have to worry about anything else. And we didn't realize just how significant this was until we were using it and realizing it's a big time saver. Not only are you not stopping to bump, you're also not digging into the grass a little bit when you don't have a hard surface to bump that head on. So overall, it's really convenient, really easy to use, and we're enjoying it a ton. As their flagship trimmer, you notice we've got the carbon fiber shaft that Ego's been using here for a little while. It is a split shaft, and that's just for packaging. You're gonna put this bolt in, it's going to hold static, so you can take it on and off if you really want to. We don't recommend it. Just install it, leave it there, you're good to go. The carbon fiber is really strong, so you're not sacrificing a bunch of strength. You're not going to accidentally step on this and break it, but it's also a lot lighter than you would get from a steel shaft, so we love having the carbon fiber there. One of the other things that Ego's done is right here we've got a quick release lever, and that's because we can telescope our shaft. So you got several inches of play. There's a quick release here on the handle as well. So you've got several inches that you can telescope this thing, and we found that it fits really nice to a lot of heights. Now, I'm 6'2". Even at its longest length, it's still a little short. I'd love to have a couple more inches on there, but for the vast majority of people, you're gonna be able to find a perfect fit really easily and be able to keep that line parallel to the ground. The other thing that I like about the handle here, obviously, it's got a quick release, so if I'm going between me and, say, the little guy, Clint, it's super simple for him to adjust that handle wherever you like. And when you install it, you can flip this handle the other way, and you got a couple more inches of adjustment that you have. Even if you want to edge, you can flip this over, flip it to either side, and lock it down to the angle that you want so that you can edge with your trimmer. Moving a little bit further up the shaft, we find that there's a tether strap here, and this is for a shoulder strap. Now, it doesn't come in the kit, but you can order one. It is kind of nice though, because the way it installs right here, just like everything else, you've got some adjustment. So you can find exactly where you want that balance point to be based on your preference. Lock it down. This is not a super heavy string trimmer, but not all of us have great backs, and so it is nice to add the shoulder strap when you want it. This is a 2-speed string trimmer, and that's not unusual in and of itself, but the indicator here is pretty nice. Just flip the button, we'll see if we can shade that a little bit so you can actually see it, and go between speed 1 and speed 2. The LED indicator is nice. You can see it in the sun. It's just hard to see on the camera without shading it. And then of course we have Ego's typical trimmer. Just push the safety forward and you're activated. So real easy, real natural to use. And you can get, depending on your hand size, you can get 2 or 3 fingers on there, and it really does make it nice. The trigger itself isn't super tight, so you don't get a lot of finger fatigue in the first place, but it's always nice to be able to get multiple fingers on it. Moving up to the head, this is Ego's typical battery connection, and this is the battery that comes in the kit. It's a 4 amp hour battery, and that's an interesting call because 4 amp hours does add some weight along with a lot more runtime. When we tested it was fairly light conditions, but we ran for over an hour in high speed with this thing. In low speed, you're gonna run much longer. So this is a trimmer that if you've got quarter-acre, half-acre yard, you might save some weight and put that 2.5 amp hour battery in there, but absolutely fine with the 4 amp hour pack. We didn't have any issues with it whatsoever, and of course the performance was fantastic. Now, speaking of performance, the trimmer does hold 0.95 line, and that's great for any residential applications. With the low speed, it's effective in light cutting conditions to extend that runtime, but we found that we like running it in high speed all the time. And with that 1 hour plus runtime you're getting from the 4 amp hour battery, we just have not had a felt need to conserve battery. While that carbon fiber shaft does reduce the weight, the bare tool is 7.7 pounds, but when you use this 4 amp hour battery, it does bring it up to about 12.5 pounds. So it's not the lightest of trimmers, it's also not the heaviest that we've seen. All in all, it's pretty easy to manage. You can find Ego's Line IQ string trimmer at Lowe's or any authorized Ego retailer. It's $199 as a bare tool, or with the 4 amp hour battery and charger, it runs $299. There are a lot of factors that go into how we rate these string trimmers, everything from performance to runtime to vibration to weight and balance. Even the price goes into it all. At the end of the day, this is the top rated string trimmer that we've used for homeowners, and we give it a 9.7. If you have any questions about Ego's Line IQ string trimmer, feel free to leave those in the comments below. And if you want to know more, Austin's put a link to our written review in the description below. As always, thanks for watching.